dating or hooking up with a client. It's a red flag. Have I done it?
I broke down mentally multiple times.
Using dramatic social media filters on your treatment results.
The money will come if you are focused and you focus on what you love to do. When you
be friendly with everybody, but don't think that everybody's friends with you. Hi, my beautiful people. I'm your skin therapist, Kate, and this is my podcast, Get Under My Skin. If you're an esthetician thinking about getting in the industry or maybe already out, listen up. We're going to be talking about some fun stuff. Today, I have my fellow esthetician, Manny. Hi, Manny.
Hi, thank you for having me on.
Of course. I'm so excited to have you here today.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
How about we start just how you thought about getting in the industry and your journey from the beginning?
Man, this is it's a big question. Where do I even begin? From
the early age when I was 5, I thought I'm gonna be making people pretty.
So I was born in. So when I was younger, I always kind of dreamt of being like a doctor. Like I wanted to become a dermatologist, but I was just not financially fortunate to be able to go to school. And I also struggled with acne and just the emotional aspect of that. And also loving working with people and also just loving science too. That's exactly what I wanted to do. But life took a different turn.
It always does. I always say the best plan is to have no plan.
I mean, I'm winging it.
The less plan, the better. It's I always amazed when people have a goal in life and they pursue it with no matter what it comes their way. And I feel like I'm, on the other hand, I'm this the little boat. Not even the regular boat, but the paper, made it from the paper boat and floating on the flow. It's taking a different turns and try to see where is it going to take. As long as I don't drown, I'm good.
It's much like that.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. How old were you when you went to the aesthetic school?
I think I was 21.
21?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So legal age for drinking and the legal age to go get the treatments.
Legal age to
for anything.
Yeah, to just be able to deal with all of life
struggles
in however way
I know
is best.
I know. Which school did you go to?
Universal Spa Training Academy in Downers Grove.
Okay.
Illinois.
Okay. All right. Okay. Sounds good. And tell me, what did you think about when you start going to the school? Did your perspective of the industry change right away, or were you excited for the whole time? What's your journey look like there?
So I think I went into it with an open mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very curious and ambitious individual, but I think the one thing that kind of shocked me was a lot of people weren't as engaged or just took it on with a level of maturity that, I approached it with. So I think, again, one of those shocks was there's a lot of cattiness in just here. And I think it contributed to what was already my mental struggle going through
100%.
School to begin with.
100%. It's actually the biggest thing that I tell everybody who's trying to get in any beauty industry. And, this excitement getting into school and this first months, I would pump it up. Oh my God, this is so great. Everybody's great. And I remember my cousin actually, she did to go to cosmetology school. And I warned her. I was just be friends with everybody. Be friendly with everybody. But don't think that everybody's friends with you. That's what I'm going to say, and I'm going to leave it there because it's a true reality. Unfortunately, I think there's no fortune in it, but unfortunately, everybody's kind of, I'm not going to say everybody, but a lot of people kind of talking behind the back, everybody's kind of looking at you differently and trying to compete with each other when there is enough air for everybody. So do yourself a favor. If you're getting in the beauty industry school, be friendly, but don't think everybody's friends with you. That's all.
Yeah, I think, one of the craziest things is when people just take on something that is meant to be very professional and don't have or have an unprofessional just way of treating people and like just are not taking things very serious. And there's a time and place for, having fun, right? But there's just a lot of cattiness going through school. And I think it was a little bit foreshadowing of of the kinds of things I would run into in the industry. So yeah, just being the person that I am, I'm a very no drama.
Tell me more. Tell me like the juiciest drama in the school. I'll try to remember too.
Man, there was a time when I switched from like part-time to full-time, and it was a totally different group of women. And mind you, I was the only man in school throughout my entire time being there. So I was already a little bit just like keep to myself a little bit, like just focus. And whoever I become friends with is who I become friends with. But some of the things that happened in school, I mean, people would like be drinking during lunch breaks and come back like drunk or just heard about other things that would go on in class, like some other types of drugs too. And yeah,
that part, and actually, I'm sure this episode is going to come out after one of the episodes I just recently did with the psychotherapist. I don't know if you saw it. I did it before on domestic abuse, but we also did with her on substances. And I think it's such a huge topic because it's so socially normalized. Even you thinking at the school, right? It's like, we're just having fun. We're just, whatever, drinking it at lunchtime or doing any sort of substances before we go to school or between the lunch. Like, this is disturbed, but people making it normal and making you feel bad if you disagree with that. Like, why are you judging me? I'm just being young, right? And I'm not doing anything wrong, but...
And like I mentioned, it's a time and place kind of thing. Like, I was going through so much in school. Like, the way that I would cope with all of life's things is I would allow myself to have a glass of wine at the end of the night and...
At the night.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the night.
Before going
that
to sleep.
Is the highlight here. Yeah. At the night. Trust me, I was coming home because I worked full time and I was going to school full time, but I was doing the evening full time. And so I would wake up at 6, go to work till like 5:30, drive to Skokie from my deeper suburbs. At 6 to 10, I was at the school. So I come home around 11 and my brain was just going. Like, it was like I could lay in the bed and I couldn't fall asleep because you're just so going, and your brain doesn't slow down. So I'm not judging you by any means because I was doing the same thing.
Right. I mean, I have my own like
100%
demons and just things that I, ways that I cope, right? Yeah. Everyone copes. But when it comes to like getting behind the wheel when you're a little bit drunk after class. Or try to like study or, doing the treatments. Other people would like start fights with each other too. Like literally almost like throw punches with like at each other.
100%.
And I'm just there like, I can't believe like I'm already like, my cup is so full. Not full.
Yeah.
Like I'm already just like.
Full of that.
Right. Yeah. And it just one more thing. So that was one of the things that
100%
made school a little bit more hard to get through for me.
I get that. I feel like every school, every like person that I talk to, everybody goes through same thing. Some sort of substances, some sort of fights between classmates, fights with the teachers. I've seen that. You name it. You name it. But interesting fact that you said you were the only man in the class. So that's something I want to learn more.
It was actually a surprise to me. I thought I would be going to school with like more men. Like,
Really?
I did not expect to be the only guy at school.
Yeah.
And I thought there would be a lot more men in the industry too. I guess I found out otherwise.
Like how you felt, like how do you feel like you were maybe treated differently, or maybe it wasn't like that? How was it for you was to be just, by yourself pretty much, being in the school or try to get through the industry in general?
So school was fine in that way. Like,
were you treated differently, you feel like, or no, not at all?
I would say, well, I don't know. I feel like I'm such an open person. Like I feel like I would like to say I'm a very easy person to be around. And I'm a very drama-free kind of person too. Like I don't really like I'll listen to the gossip.
Yeah.
But I won't be the gossip, right?
I mean, who doesn't like some good tea, right?
Yeah. So I think like if I was a guy or a girl, like I think it just, people gravitated toward me. But in the industry, getting out there, I think I found some more opportunities just being a guy. But also there was an instance at one of the jobs that I worked with where I was working at the front desk and I had already had a ton of experience behind my belt. And I was really excited to take on a position being a provider in the treatment room. And I will always remember this, but when it came after the interview process, the one thing that I was told by my manager was that, we couldn't take you on in this position. We couldn't give you this promotion because men aren't historically successful in this industry. And that just like shut me down. Like I had been working for over a year for that position, and it's a great business. They're a really big business, and I have always wanted to be part of it. But after a year of working so hard and just hearing that comment, it's not I wouldn't say it's reflective of the entire the entire business itself, but maybe just that person that made that decision. And also just the person that communicated that message too. Right. It was really heartbreaking to hear. Like
and how it was delivered as well. Yeah.
It was really heartbreaking. I couldn't take on that position being a provider as I had been in the past because just the comment, men aren't historically successful in this industry.
Yeah.
So these other candidates would be better.
It's like, it stirs me up inside, when people deciding for yourself who you can be successful at or not.
Yeah, it's like, give me a chance. Like,
you don't know me. Like, and especially I've been working and trying to prove myself here for you for a whole year, it sounds like, right? And just because the historically something wasn't in your mind working out, you made the decision based off that.
Yeah, and I had been working so hard. Like I didn't have any kind of write-ups or anything. There was nothing to kind of justify that. So shortly after I left, like it was like maybe a couple weeks later, I left. I already had found another position and I just kept going. So
wow. How long did you work as a provider before moving up in the different areas of industry in general?
About 3 solid years. About 3 solid years. I'm working in different spaces, from plastic surgery to medical spas and even like a really small men's skincare boutique too.
Okay. Yeah. What did you like the most? Like when you were finishing the school, did you find something, okay, this is my niche? Because that's how I felt. Like I'll just kind of back up a little bit. When I was going to the beauty and like aesthetic school, well, it was very spontaneous. Everybody's asking me, like, oh, how did you get there? And everybody's looking for this, beautiful story of me. Like when I was, again, 5 years old, I was, thinking about making people pretty. None of that. I was not a beauty girl at all. not into makeup, not into skincare. God forbid. Good thing if I wash my face and put maybe some sort of moisturizer from the CVS. Like I didn't know anything about it. However, my great grandma, she was an esthetician in Russia. I should have listened maybe more stuff from her, but yes, it is very true.
How cool.
I know. And I mean, she was inspiring to me, but I wasn't really ever into it. So time came when I been in the United States for a few years. I had like more corporate job. I was doing well there, but I knew I don't want to sit in the cubicle for the rest of my life. It wasn't me. I was depressed, and I was kind of trying to find myself in some other areas. And here's my mom called me, and she's like, "Hey, here's my friend. She went to beauty school, and she's going to be the laser technician. And I think it's so cool. I think that something you can do that." So I was going to the aesthetic industry thinking, I'm just going to finish this. I'm going to buy my own laser, and I'm going to do laser hair removal, and I'm going to be so successful.
How amazing would that be? It's not a glamorous introduction by any means.
I had such a perfect picture lined up to it, right. And I'm like, this is it. My life is set.
It's not.
and I get there, I'm like, oh no.
Rude awakening. I mean, tell me about it. It's like, that's how it is though. It's not like I had this like vision and oh man.
I know. And I feel like everybody has this, pretty picture of something when we go into, and your better plan is to have no plan, and my plan is completely went down the drain.
Like, fuck it. Like,
and I am on probably like a third lesson. I was like, oh, I can't buy my own laser? What do you mean? Oh, how much it cost? Oh, what do I need to be to laser? Yeah, to laser technician, oh, I need a doctor. I'm like, oh my God, I need a plan B. I didn't have a plan B. But long story short, regardless, I still love the industry, even though a lot of like drama going on in the school and like a lot of people fighting there and there. I'm more of like an introverted person, so I don't really care about what's like going on around me. I'm like in my own space, and I'm fine with that. I enjoyed it treating skin, enjoyed even like working with people. And I think the biggest drive for me was getting those results and smiles, and just making people feel good about themselves. So, but
can I say something with that? Like, I feel like it takes I think it takes like your own journey to be able to successfully make people feel good about themselves.
100%.
Like, I don't think it's in everybody, and I think the most successful people are people that have gone through a lot, like have gone through their own self, awareness journeys, battles, and just battles, and then being able to just give the gift of shining light on other people. I think that is something that is really, it's a rare thing.
That is so sweet.
Yeah. No, I mean,
but it's very true.
Like I meet a lot of people, well, I have met a lot of people that, you can tell they're not very interested in what they went to school for. And maybe it's maybe it's
a lot.
Like, they just have to make a pivot and choose something else. But I think it's also part of it is just have to work on what makes you happy and able to actually make people feel good about themselves too.
100%. 100%. I think there's a lot of people that they're for like wrong reasons, and financial gain is one. Maybe that's just like the opportunity came along. Though I can really, sometimes I question if it's right or wrong, because I feel like a lot of times you see those people and they actually doing a really good progress versus other people that are just very passionate about it and maybe not as great on like on the business side, but they're great on doing what they're doing. So it's like a controversy between two. However, I do agree. Same thing, like plastic surgery, let's say, where a lot of people get into it thinking, I'm going to make so much money, and they just kind of start stamping it and then getting bad reputation of the industry and people like scared to be touched afterwards. And same thing I feel like about the aesthetics. There are people overselling, just to do something to do it.
Yeah.
Just because it's making money.
They get brand deals
Mm-hmm.
and then and then people just only focus on the money.
Yeah, exactly.
But the money will come. The money will come if you are focused and you focus on what you like love to do when you make something like, your niche or.
Yeah. Have you ever felt like you're wanted to quit or you feel like burning out?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, many times.
Tell me more.
Before even like getting into this industry.
Yeah.
Like before getting my license, there were so many moments where I felt like this might not be for me. Like I might have to try something else.
Yeah.
But I've always been so passionate about it. And part of the reason that I have gotten those feelings in the past where like just the workplace was not for me.
Mm-hmm.
That particular business that I was working for, not for me. Or those people that I was surrounded by, not for me.
Mm-hmm.
But even just like back in school, like I'm just like, can I swear? I'm like, damn, this is so hard. Like this is not an easy journey. Like I was struggling for money. It was just the journey was just so long for me, and the money that you have to spend to actually become a licensed esthetician.
And then continue education, because let's be honest, when you finish school, a lot of people think like, done deal. Yeah. I'm ready to make money. Where's my world? Yeah. Rocking the world. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Getting the license is just like, okay, now spend more to get all the continued education or, follow the doctors and try to learn more from them, making minimal amount of money just to get that experience. And nobody wants to hire you without experience, and you can't get experience because you can't get hired.
Yeah.
So it's a tough process.
On top of workplace drama too, it can take a lot out of you. Like especially if you're like solo, you live solo, like you have bills to pay. It's not easy out here. It's not as glamorous as the industry kind of looks from the outside.
And that's the thing. So many people think like, I'm just going to finish it, going to do facials, going to do lashes, going to do brows, going to do waxing, whatever it is for you. And, it all looks pretty on Instagram, on the social media. And I'm going to be my own boss or working for the clinic, and make so much money. And in reality, it is not the case, especially at the beginning. It's going to take a lot of neck biting and, scratching your way into it and try to...
This is the first time I actually feel happy. And this is the first time I actually can pay my bills, too. After, like, 4 years of being in the industry. I made it.
Made it
to the other side. Yeah. But it's not easy. You don't make your money immediately after school. You might not be in the right, workplaces that you feel happy in. It's a journey. It truly is a journey.
It is. I agree. What's where like the key points you felt like were almost like knock you out of the industry? Do you remember those like moments? Financials, right? Maybe people like...
I will talk about a couple moments.
Okay.
So when when I worked in plastic surgery, it was really, really hard, like mentally. I was working, I think 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. And that sounds like a great schedule, but I had no lunch. Like it was like patient, plastic surgery case. Like, and then I'm like working on 2 different people at once, and I did it safely. But like I would
disclaimer,
put, like,
I did it safely.
I would put like numbing cream on one person and then run to the next room and like finish up that treatment. And then
what treatments would you do? Just like a quick.
So I managed the OR. I set up for all the plastic surgery cases and also assisted them in them as well, like blepharoplasties, brow lifts, also like liposuction as well. Setting up for that is a process, and also cleaning up after that is a huge process. But I would normally have that that case in the morning, and then it like be booked for a treatment like immediately as soon as that surgical treatment ended. And sometimes surgery went a little over too, and then I was behind for the rest of my day. But anyways, I had no lunch ever. I was lucky if I like once a week I had 15 minutes maybe to eat food, but I stored like nuts and crackers in the like where
drawers.
But I got so burnt out after some time, so burnt out, like mentally I was unwell, and it ended very abruptly. I was not okay. I was doing that for a long time, and then I was like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do from here. Another moment I like almost felt like giving up was a time I worked for another company, and there was so much drama. I broke down mentally multiple times. Like after leaving work, I would just like sob in my car. Like I couldn't trust certain leaders that I needed to talk to, and other leaders would talk
bad about ones,
not only like their like direct reports, but other leaders above them or around them. And it seemed like a really great company from the outside, but in the inside it was like crumbling.
The reality of a lot of companies, actually. I am a true believer in that if you want to succeed, you can succeed with everybody. If you're supporting people around you, then you're gonna grow higher than you've ever been. Because if everybody just feels safe, supported, and have space to grow, everybody wants to thrive. You know, we're here for all, you know, same reason. We want again, be safe. We want to make enough money for us to support ourselves and our family. We want to have success in our career, you know, being seen, making people happy about themselves. Why do we need to put anybody down in order to look better in the eyes of others?
You know, I think there's just a lot of egos in this industry.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people aren't happy. And just in life, in the world out there, a lot of people aren't happy with themselves. You know, everyone's got a lot of shit that they're going through.
Yeah.
But spreading it in the workplace is like, it can be a huge thing in this industry.
1000%.
Doesn't matter who it is. You know, it could be doctors. It could be leaders that you should be able to trust, right? But yeah.
And that's the thing. Leaders that you should be able to trust, you know? And that's the upsetting thing, that you looking up for somebody as a leader, as, you know, somebody that will help you to grow and lead as a leader, but you're finding yourself in completely different position. Yeah. What are, like, can you talk about like things that, like, most disturb things that you found in like work environment? No. Like, so I can start if you want.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. No, I just had like, I mean, I had different moments. I've had moments from literally women talking bad about me doing like a bad treatment, which I That's one of the things that she was mentioning. I know I'm good at it, though I was fairly new in the industry. But I knew that part. If she could say something else, I would be like, yeah, she's right. You know, maybe like I need to learn, and like I would listen. But that one thing she was saying was completely untrue. And she heard the front desk girl was on the phone and she was offering actually an appointment with me. And she purposely, that moment, started talking loudly, calling my name and how bad at the treatment I did. That she wants the another girl was trying to schedule another client for me. So that things like that, or people saying that you know, I don't have availability, and telling my existing clients that they can't schedule with me when I was still working at the place, and there's just no reason for me not to be seeing my existing clients, and then my clients reaching out to me through like social media or outside platforms and asking what's going on because they couldn't schedule with me for 2 months. So that's kind of messed up.
All kinds of things. It's like everything you can think of that can go wrong.
Yeah.
It probably will go wrong. Like,
100%.
man, yeah, it's the you could be the kindest person.
Yeah.
But some people will just find ways to fuck you over.
I know. I still don't understand why, but you know, everybody has their own reasons. So tell me more about yours. Didn't forget about it.
So I think one of the things that I come across now and also in the past, you know, working in different spas, etc., is cleanliness. Like there's a lot of, you see a lot of uncleanliness, a lot of disorganization too. And that's one of my things. Like I need things to be clean. I need things to be organized. But it's also just like a standard ethical and sanitary practice, right? It's what you learn from the very beginning. So
say more. And especially like working when, you know, in the medical industry, that's like was always mind blowing to me. Like you think it's not important, but like I can't even imagine, like this is like a basic set of the basics. Wipe your bottles, wipe your station. You open the cleansers, you use the moisturizers. Why there's like drying out things on the bottle? It's only aesthetically pleasantly looking, nor it's unpleasant to touch. Like why can't you just wipe it down?
I mean, if I was a client and I walked into one of these rooms and I saw that this device was so grimy,
so bad.
I'm sorry, but I have to go. I don't know what's gonna be like on my face. Like, you know
where was it before?
Like,
where was it before? You know,
right?
Yeah.
If this room looks like this and this device looks like this, or like these products look like they haven't been wiped down in since you got them, maybe. I don't know what the other how else everything else looks like behind closed doors in areas where I don't see. I don't know. I just can't. I can't do it.
I know.
I can't.
I'm there with you.
I can't. It's weird though. It's like people are weird. Like blind to that. Like
I know. I don't know.
People don't really see something like that. They just weren't trained to clean.
I don't know. It's still a mystery to me. I think maybe it comes from a house. You know, you can be trained for something, but then, you know, if that's not something you used to do, it's not something you used to do. I mean, you can train yourself, but you have to like put the effort to it. But I don't know. I don't have answers to that, but it's a reality. It's a
huge thing. It's a huge thing. You see it more often than you know, the opposite.
You know, sure, you've seen more. Yeah. So what made you to, we've kind of talked about, you know, going through the school, then you started as a provider in the industry. Then what made you to consider to go a little different path of aesthetics?
Yeah, so I'm not a provider anymore, although I always have like a sweet spot in my heart, this fiery passion in me for being a provider in the treatment room, it just kind of landed here. Like, I didn't think I would be in the place that I'm in by far, and I'm so grateful. But I always loved education. I loved education so much. I wish I could have gone to college. I wish I could afford it. And sometimes I still romanticize going back to school.
You're so young. You're so young. You can still go ahead and do it.
Man, sometimes I feel like the longer you wait, the harder it gets logistically to plan something like that. And I couldn't, but I don't know. I'd have to think a little more on it. But if that was always my problem, just thinking about it and not doing it, then that's on me. But now that I do have, the funding available to do something like that, I actually have the ability to actually think about going to school. But anyways, so I loved education so much. I loved teaching people and helping people grow. And I love the idea of helping businesses grow too, and just helping people become the best versions of themselves. So I loved my experience on the training and education team for a huge, like a global company that I worked for. And then there was a partnership with Epicurus, the company I work for now. And I just happened to meet our CEO and vice president through an event that I was doing. And I didn't know that they were the people that they were. They came in and I just invited them in, and it was a great experience. And I found out a little later who they were. And so I was given some samples to try. I dove into the science a little bit more, and we reconnected like maybe a month after, and they offered me a position like on the spot. And it was so unbelievable to me, like a shock. And I was like, this is exactly what I want to do.
Yeah, I love that. And it's funny because I think I met you at the event. At the different company.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you want me to say it or not.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, it was in the hydrofacial event.
Hydrofacial.
Yeah. So, and you worked there. And literally months later, you're showing up as a rep from the company that I'm like trying to partnership too, because I was opening in my studio. There's a lot going on for myself, and it was funny how like the switch happened there. But I'm so grateful that you did, and you seem you're happy. Not that I didn't know you for a long time when you were in the hydrofacial, so I don't know how it was for you there. But anywhere in the industry is not easy, that's for sure.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I love what I do. I love this company so much. I love the leaders, like all of my team members that I work with across the country. Like everyone is so amazing. And just the way that they treat me is so incredible. Like I'm so fortunate to be in this position that I'm in. But also that doesn't mean that it's not easy.
100%.
It's really not easy.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the glitz and glam that people might see from the outside. And I would say it's really not easy.
It is not.
It requires a lot out of you.
100%. How do you deal with competition? Floating up front. You're already an amazing person, so I'm not questioning that. But what's your way to it?
So I don't really see other brands as competition. I don't really think about it very much. Other brands will have their products and they'll do what they do. I personally try to go above and beyond, what other companies do for their business, the businesses that they partner with. And I know, certain ways I can do that because I've worked in these spaces where, spas and so on, and I would see what companies would do. But that doesn't mean that I'm not always going above and beyond. Sometimes I miss the mark, and that's part of the honest truth, like, of being in this position. You can't be perfect every single time for every single person all the time, right? But I think that's how my relationships have grown, though, is I do try to be honest. I try to be very, just
Transparent.
transparent, go above and beyond in ways that I know how to, and just be real with people. I try to show up as my truest self, and really truly support people and businesses in ways that will actually help. So
I love that.
That's how I,
it's your success.
keep things growing and flowing. Yeah.
We were talking about the competition with the other brands. What about like internal competition? There are always going to be other people, right? Other salespeople, other what about that?
People. There's some people that I'm like, I don't know how I can get on your level.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you do it, especially having your own, things that you have to deal with that I don't.
Yeah.
But there's some incredible people that are part of this company. And I tried to, I see their numbers, and I try to, do what I can to,
best.
Be whatever. But I think I kind of just more so compete with myself. Like, how can I do better or do more than I did the past 3 months or so on? And it'll show.
It'll show.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just in general. It's not only in your niche right now, but in general. Keep feeling what's right in your heart, and all you can hope is that it's gonna show. And I'll be honest, guys. Like, I'll be honest. It is not easy by any means. It is not easy, and I used to live by this quote that said, keep doing, when you work for your passion, you're never going to be working, right? Because it's like your passion, it's your love, and etc. But the more I am in it, the more I realize that I am truly passionate about it, but I feel like I'm losing that passion. It's more becoming of, yes, it is my love, but all of the other like hardships that come with, they're making it not as just an entertainment. It's not just a hobby anymore. It's like a lot of different things that you got to think about it, because as much as you want to do, let's say, give the better prices so you can help more people, or be more like affordable, or whatever it is by any means. There are certain things you just can't do because you have to feed your family too. You have to pay the bills too. And so there's a lot of like pros and cons, and I'm still kind of learning as I'm going, because I'm running a business for a year now, though in the industry.
Congratulations for making it.
Thank you. Everybody says the first year is the toughest, and I feel like
you're figuring a lot out.
I still didn't quit, so I think I'm still trying to push it through. I'm not gonna say everything is bad. No, absolutely not. There are some beautiful moments, and I absolutely blessed to have those moments. And the most like fulfilling thing is when you get those clients. In my memories, is those clients that are actually like out of state, and I've had quite a few of them when they particularly come to me and they were traveling, and they tend to be like in Chicago, and they were following me for a long time. They come to me and they're so excited. And I even had clients that are like really so pumped that they would come like in orange, try to like fit in the room. It would just make my day,
See, that's what fills your cup up, right?
100%.
Those moments you have, like
100%.
you remember, like
absolutely.
this is my passion.
And that's when you remember this is your passion. Those moments when you're like so low and
you're that person for me. Like, I have to say, you guys, like, there's a lot of people that I work with in this industry, and like some people may not be so pleasant as others, but those people that are really like great people help me understand, wow, like, I mean, I love this company, but this is why I do what I do. And Katya is that one of those people for me. She's like one of the best business owners and most genuine people that I get to work with. And I just,
you're going to make me cry.
It makes me so happy. It truly does fill my cup up. Thank you. Thank you for being you. And I'm sure you give all of that love and energy back to your people.
Thank you so much. I want to give you a hug, but I don't want to move the mic.
Yeah, no,
Thank you. I really appreciate
it's an honor to be here and chat with you about all these things.
I'm so blessed. I that's one thing that I do before I go to sleep. I just tell my mantra in my head of the people that I'm just blessed to have in my life. And people like you, I truly appreciate to be in my life. And every single person is always in my head. And I think even in my like toughest and darkest and lowest moments, I just keep repeating that life is providing those people for me for a reason, and I shouldn't be dismissing those blessings. And, life is not all glamorous, same as the industry. But when you have those moments, when you have those people, it helps you to kind of push it through.
Yeah. And things get busy. There's moments when we don't hear from each other.
Oh, like, yeah.
But we always come back. Yeah,
it's life.
Yeah, we know.
Exactly.
We understand.
100%. Since we kind of touched based on that, what's your way to kind of deal with like burnouts, or maybe not to get to the burnouts, because it's common, especially again in this industry, it's very common and easy to get there. Yeah. How you've been dealing with that?
Well, I feel like I'm still trying to figure it out. Yeah. Like how to balance myself.
Like, I'm still in the process.
Like, man, every week it's something new. Every week I'm tweaking my
I know. When you don't respond, I'm like, I'll give him a week. I was like, I'll reach out back. I'm the same way. Yeah.
So I just try to disconnect and try to be present a little bit. Like I said, every week I'm trying something new to help myself balance. So on Sunday I went glamping.
Glamping.
Yeah, if you still smell that smoke on me a little bit. I showered multiple times, but I feel like it's still lingering. But
where did you go?
It's this company. It's called Getaway.
Oh yes, I was trying to book it for a while. Yeah. I was looking into it. Yeah,
I think they rebranded. It might be called something else now.
Is it?
But it used to be known as Getaway. As far as I know. And I've done it a couple times, and it's so freaking awesome. Like, it's in the middle of, like, it's right next to Starved Rock, but they have like locations all over like the US. So you can go to Wisconsin, Michigan, New Jersey, I think. But yeah, it's a really cute glamping experience. They set it up where like you don't even have to like bring anything, and you just go have a bonfire and enjoy the vibes.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, you should do it.
I love that. I love that. What's your sign?
I'm a Leo.
Leo, I forget. Yeah. Yes. I was like, I asked you, and then I remembered right away. No wonder we get along.
That fiery passion is always burning.
Very passion, yeah. But this, like, grounding yourself and getting close to the nature, I feel the same way. That's like the best thing for me as well. Going for a walk, even when I don't feel it, like, I leave my phone out, like at home. People can't survive without me for 30, 40 minutes, right. Like, just gotta go. And I just go. Like, I go and I look around and I try to, like, breathe and just literally ground myself, make my head a little less busy.
Yeah.
And just to listen to the sounds that are outside of my head.
Yeah.
Not inside on it.
Yeah. Like, calm my body. Like, calm my, like, these nerves in me.
That anxiety.
I'm always living with it.
Yes.
It's a daily practice, though.
It's a daily
practice.
practice.
It's not
Daily
easy.
practice. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I feel that. I feel that. How about we play some game?
Let's do it. Yeah.
I prepped
I'm ready.
for us. Ready? Okay. I've got it.
Oh my gosh, they're right here.
I
love
hit
it.
them. I hit them. We got to, oh, shoot. I've got some green flags and I've got some red flags. I think it's very appropriate for industry as well. We've got some red flags and the green flags, right?
Let's do it.
There we go. Here we go. I'll be playing with you too. But I'll be saying the questions, okay? And we're just going to show what's the green flag, what's the red flag for you, for me, and then we can talk about it.
I'm nervous.
Let's get juicy.
Okay. I don't know these questions, so I'm going to...
All right. First one is dating or hooking up with a client.
Have I ever? Have you? I think there's some moments in the past where
I would say it's a red flag. Have I done it?
wait, is green yes?
But do you agree with that or you disagree with that?
Oh.
But then we can say if you ever did it.
Okay, so I disagree.
I disagree.
I disagree.
Have I done it? I've done it. But after that I was like, yeah, that's not something I'm going to ever do it again because it just doesn't go well.
Yeah, no, things can get intimate sometimes, not in the treatment room, but
right. I'm not talking about the treatment room.
You get to know people so well.
Yeah.
And sometimes, that person might come through and
100%. And that's exactly
they
what
ask you out on a date. So it has happened to me.
The struggle of my DMs.
Oh my gosh, I'm sure.
For real. And at some point I was getting pissed because when I was running ads, I don't know where the targeting was going to, but definitely not to the right people, because I mean, all of these inquiries were interested in an appointments, but after them, going back and forth trying to schedule the appointments, the last question would be like, oh, can I take you for lunch or dinner afterwards? And, my rule is no. And that's it.
Gotten plenty of numbers in the past handed to me unasked for. What is there a word for that?
Yeah. Or like actually coming into the treatment, going through the treatment, and then they try to like hit on you right afterwards. It's the nature of what we do. It'll happen. It happens. It happens a lot. But do I disagree? Yes, I disagree.
Yes. Huge red flag.
Huge red flag. Talking negatively about other estheticians work behind the scenes. Definitely red flag. Definitely a major red flag, but very common. Very common. People do it all the time. I hate it.
Gossip will occur, but I'm not trying to, first of all, I'm not trying to like have a negative day. Like if feedback needs to be handed to somebody, do it in a professional way.
Oh, absolutely.
And talk to them directly.
100%. We all need to know. We all need to grow. If somebody makes a mistake, put them aside. Talk to them.
Yes.
Confront them face to face.
Yeah.
Instead of, smiling and then walking away and talking shit behind their back. It happens a lot. Yeah. And again, not only from estheticians or laser technicians. I'm talking about the providers as well.
Have I engaged in gossip? Sure. When it's something that affects everybody, including myself. Like you have to have people that you can trust in the workplace. So engage,
community.
Yes,
gossip.
But have a solution. If you're going to talk about gossip, have a solution to the problem.
Maybe like it's more of a, let's get together, talk about it, how we can resolve that.
Right.
Then approach that person. But gossip is gossip. Still gonna be there. Anyway, moving on. Lying about your level of expertise to gain a client's trust. Red flag. Red flag. How often have you seen that?
I don't know if I don't think I would ever seen it. Because I'm not in the treatment room with other people and I don't know how they present themselves. But even when I first started, like, I wouldn't share I've had more experience than I actually did. I would share how much I've studied and how, just my expertise and from what has been given to me. Right. And that I'm qualified to do what I'm doing. But no.
Yeah.
Have you?
No, I've never lied about my own expertise. I'm always transparent about that. That's something I always say. That's one thing I always say, like, I'm not good at everything and I'm not doing everything. There is some practitioners that will do, like, starting from waxing, lashes, eyebrows, facials, lasers, everything all together. And if they're great at it, that's amazing. I know I'm not. Do I know how to do it? Yes. But there is a niche that I'm an expert in, and that's more of a corrective treatments. And that's what I do. So I'm not going to, try to shape your eyebrows because that's something you want me to do and then maybe can give me 30 extra bucks. It's not my expertise. I will refer you to people and I'll do my best on my niche. And I'm always transparent about it. There are certain things I'm good at, certain things not something I practice. And if I don't know something, I'll tell you. I'll have to find out and then I'll get back to you. But that's just my personal view on it. Have I seen the people doing the opposite? I have. I mean, there is also a reason why I have trust issues, somebody touching my skin, because I got burned. I actually literally got burned by one of the wraps, chemical peel wraps in the school.
Oh.
She came in with presenting a product, and she was doing like chemical peels on old people. And I'll tell you, my skin is pretty thick, like meaning that it can tolerate a lot of stuff. I'm not like the most sensitive person on earth. But she mixed a few pills together. And just because I wasn't feeling like burning sensations that maybe she was waiting for, she literally burned my face. And I had a pretty decent sized blister on my cheek around my eye. And it got hyperpigmentation and discoloration from it that I couldn't get rid of for a few years after.
Wow.
So it was pretty major thing that like traumatized me from the school part. And for that reason, I rarely go get any like treatments done by anybody else besides like me doing it on myself, unless that's something I cannot do, like the laser. If I'm working in the practice, like I'll set up my own settings.
I trust less than a handful of people.
Yeah. And in like injectors as well, like it takes, that's why maybe people trust me when I referred them to somebody, because I really need to trust that person to refer anybody.
Absolutely.
I'm going to try myself. Same thing to the like injectors, laser technicians or anything. I'll try them myself. I know they're good. I've sent people there. They're happy. Then I can referring others to them. I'm very cautious with that, but it's in my part. But,
I love that.
Yeah.
You have to be.
You have to be. Especially referrals. Like I feel responsible to, sending somebody. I can't just send somebody just because they're like next door.
Absolutely.
Say,
No, I don't send people to just anybody.
I can't because otherwise
that's
it's my reputation.
It's on the line too.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's tough, but that's what it is. The green flag for me.
I approve.
I'm a walking green flag. I'm just kidding. I'm not. Absolutely not. But that part I take it seriously. Personally, that part I take it seriously. Yeah. That's why I have such amazing people in my life like you, because you passed my control, like the quality standards.
Good. I hope so. I hope so.
Absolutely.
Man,
absolutely.
it's not easy. It's not easy, but
No, I think it's not that hard. Promoting a skincare product you don't believe in just for commission. That's something I cannot do. It's just, I can't do it. I can't do it. So maybe that's why I'm not the greatest salesperson. I'm not, because I can't do this. The only thing that I can't sell is the products that I believe in. If I don't believe in, it's just not it's going to be standing on my shelf. I won't be able to sell it. Same thing with the treatments.
yeah.
I only can sell something that I believe in, that I see the results in, I trust, then I'll be passionately talking about it. Otherwise, it's a loss for me.
Yeah, I took a moment to think for a second, because I feel like the only time I promoted something that had a certain level of uncertainty was like stem cells or like PRP. Like there is a certain level of uncertainty with, not knowing how much it's going to work for one person over another person, right? So
It's true.
that's the only time.
And as phlebotomist, as you try to be phlebotomist and becoming one, and then offering properly microneedling with PRP and all of those things. And the PRP can be very beneficial, absolutely, not taking away at all how much we progressed with PRP, with PRF in general, and the technology they're doing it right now are absolutely amazing. Try to replace the steroid shots, not maybe like replacing it, but an alternative maybe before you go to that extent. In the results that it can give you, they're absolutely amazing. However, I always transparent about it as well. I can tell you it's going to be the best thing, and you're going to get exactly the same results as your friend Megan that did the same thing, because Megan may be exercising every day, drinking water, eating healthy foods, sleeping 7-8 hours a day just because her lifestyle allows her, and she has amazing PRP. She doesn't. And a lot of like us sleeping 5 hours a day, a little over caffeinated.
Melatonin is necessary for
melatonin, magnesium, putting this in.
I need
just
to put myself
asleep.
out.
Exactly. A little glass of wine on the weekend, maybe cheat day with pizza before
Got to.
the Netflix, watching a Netflix on the couch and snacking on something. This all will affect you. It does. And it will affect your PRP. And the stress level will affect your PRP. So you just got to be understanding on that part. Will give you results. Yeah, it will give you, but not in an extent that you might be thinking about it.
Another one was I don't want to say the certain brand, but like muscle stimulation devices. Like that try to create muscle and decrease fat too. That's another case. Yeah, I've had great success with some people, but others I would actually have to turn down. But and then there's those people where like, this is dependent on you, like truly dependent on you.
Yeah,
I'm doing this treatment, but also like your level of self-care outside of this is a true uncertainty to me. I have to take your word for it. So there are some people where like they just weren't as pleased with their results as others have been.
100%.
That's another one.
That's
really a costly treatment.
It is very costly. And that's one thing that always stopped me to actually working on that one, because it's such a... I don't want to like bash at anybody. I haven't like worked with the company directly or any similar companies that are have this technology. It's just something to me that can be done naturally with work, meaning working out And I know it's not maybe extent for everybody to do like everyday exercises and everything like that. However, none of those technologies will replace that. So, but most importantly with the exercise is that it's your habit and the lifestyle. You're actually committing to it and you're doing it, because no matter how many treatments you're going to get done, spend tons of thousands of dollars on it, but you continue living your lifestyle that is mainly, sitting at home and maybe after the treatment, passing through the drive-through of Dunkin' Donuts and grabbing a dozen of it, or even a couple of it and eating them. It's just not going to help you.
Exactly.
In the same way I feel about a lot of body sculpting, it's always about your commitment and lifestyle changes. If you're just going to try to think that the treatment's going to replace it all and fix it all, it's not the truth. It's a 50% of work, like anything else. But
exactly.
Giving a discount to a friends or friends of friends who don't value your time.
Oh no! So
I'm like,
I've done it. I've done it.
Have I done it?
Yeah.
Yes. Is it a red flag? Absolutely a red flag. It's like another topic, and
it's a painful
go on
thing.
and on. It is very painful. It is very painful, and I think we're just gonna keep it silent here because I feel like a lot of us have gone through it, and it's not an easy thing. No, not at all. Ignoring your gut feeling about a risky treatment to make a sale.
Okay, so you can't ignore your gut feeling.
You can't ignore your gut feeling. You cannot. You cannot. Absolutely can't. Go with your instinct. Doesn't matter if you're a new esthetician or a seasoned one. Always go with your instinct. Even if everything looks by the protocol, by the paper, and you still feel like there's something off, double check. Be safe. I always say none of that is worth my license. I'm not the type of person who is just gonna do, mediocre job just because to stay safe. If I can push it, I'll push it, but I have to be on a safer level, we can increase the depth, we can increase the strength with the time. But if you're just walking in through my door and you're like, never had a skincare regimen, but I want a deep peel and I'm Fitzpatrick 6, like, absolutely not.
So that's not how this works.
Yeah, let's start over. No. I was like, I saw this on Instagram. I'm like, that's great. We can get to it, but in a little while, we gotta put some work into it before we get there. So yeah, never miss your gut feeling.
Yeah.
Never miss your gut feeling.
I've learned from those experiences for sure.
Yeah.
I had gut feelings that I didn't trust, but was forced to
do it. Yeah.
By, people above me. And then it backfired. And
then you're the one who's at fault. Yeah. So be careful. Let's see. Clients offering favors in exchange of the free treatments. Clients offering favors.
I don't think it depends. I think it depends. It's okay to trade services.
Yeah, I agree to that.
Yeah. I agree.
Collaborations.
It depends on what favor it is, but
we're gonna put like green. I would say green flag.
Pretty okay.
But like don't
case by case basis.
Case by case. Don't just depend on it. Yeah. Don't just depend on it. Yeah. Like, I'll bring you I don't know, chocolate bar for a hydrofacial. No, that doesn't work like that.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
But always again, if somebody's watching us who's learning and we're getting in the industry, every time you do the free treatments, models, collaborations, anything like that, even if it's your friends or family, sign the consent form. Consent form, model consent form, all the consent forms you need, especially model ones for, posting the pictures, posting the content. It doesn't matter if they tell they're like your best friend or friends or family, and they're like, oh yeah, of course, go ahead. They can request you to take it down, and if they didn't sign the consent form, you will have to do so. So sign it. Be on the safer side.
Yeah, and don't let people take advantage of you.
No, absolutely not. No, not at all. Let's see. Using dramatic social media filters on your treatment results.
Absolutely not. Why would you do that? Also on yourself too. Like, just, I don't know.
Yes. How many people do you see in the industry and using this to the before and afters, B, using on themselves? That's like, it surprises me. We all go through different things when our skin can struggle.
Yes.
You know, and I openly talk about it. I stress, I undersleep. I'm a single mom. Shit happens. You know, and my skin is not always perfect.
My skin's not perfect.
At all. And you can take the best care of it, but there's a lot of outside factors that can reflect in it. You know, that's something we can't control. But I think the most important thing is to be real and true, you know, about it. So when people do that and then you clearly see those filters, like, how can you trust?
It's misleading.
And that's what it creates, the distrust in the industry from the regular consumers, you know.
Yeah. If you ever see me on my story, I never have a filter on. Never put a filter on.
Same thing.
Unless, or like, not on myself, but like if I'm, you know, taking a picture of something like vibey or something that. Like maybe I'll like.
I mean, you can correct the color. You know, sometimes it's too dark, sometimes it's too like too light, like depending whatever it is.
But on myself, on my skin, I never have a filter on.
Green flag. Green flag to you, not to the using filters. Gossiping about high-profile clients or colleagues. Red flag.
So
Wait.
With
a little silence here. Is it wrong? Absolutely. Should you be doing? No. Have we done it?
Yes.
Yes. You know, we're all people.
Yeah. I mean, I've had many.
Keep it small circle.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've had many high profile clients, and like my team members would see them, and you know, you can't not say anything at all.
Right.
But team members, that's different to me.
Yeah. Just as I said, keep it inside. Keep it internally.
Yes.
Keep it internally. Better not to do it. But
also be cautious about what you share with people too, because
100%.
Don't underestimate how much it can always come back to bite you.
100%. Always keep in mind. Saying yes to treatment you know isn't the right fit just to keep a client happy. I mean, we kind of talked about it. It's a red flag. Don't do it. Even if client is not happy just because you don't want to do it, you're the one who's deciding. You're the one who's a professional. You're the one who knows what's right for the person. So just to take money, it's not worth it. Your reputation.
Hold your ground. Stand your ground. But if someone really wants like one facial treatment over another,
if it's harmless, if you know
it's not,
exactly, then it's okay. But you not give them the explanation of that too. You know, always say, can we do it? We can. Is it gonna be harmful? No. Will you see amazing results for a while? Probably not. You know, do I think there's another better treatment? Yes. If you want to try it, we can still try it.
Yes.
Because I feel like it's safe for you.
Yeah.
But
you're being honest, and that's what matters.
Exactly. Honesty. Pretending to love trending treatment you actually think is garbage.
No.
How many of those are
I see it all the time.
All the time.
I see it all the time. And I don't know if people like just want to love whatever it is that's trending so much.
They're like so getting stirred up and passionate about it.
Yeah.
And try to get into the trend. And usually always comes out something. Have you tried
What?
the bio repeal?
I have not.
You've not?
No. I've never tried it, nor.
It was such a trend. It was such a trend. Everybody
It
felt like
was.
using it. And when I was opening the business, there were like a lot of people were talking about it, and I looked at it and I'm like, that's me in the industry. I'll give it a time. I'm not saying it's a garbage treatment, but I did give it time, and a lot of things comes out later on, and with the information.
Can we talk about something?
Yeah.
The credibility of a brand always matters. Like the foundation. I tell people this. Do research. Like, what is the foundation of a brand? Like, is it credible? And does it align with your standards, right? I think there's a lot of brands out there that throw money at formulations and
branding and
put a brand on it and just try to market and sell it as something that they researched on their own, and this is a breakthrough. Like, no, it's you just had money and you threw money at something, and you don't have your own lab, right?
100%.
You don't do your own research. So that's, again, one of the reasons why I love Epicura so much.
I know that. And that's why I always speak highly about it, but it's very important. It's very important, the history of the brand, what they're actually standing for. Just because it's out there in the ads, everybody's using it, all this ambassadors, influencers, and everybody try to sell this as the best treatment possible out there. It doesn't mean it is. I always say, just give it a time. Give it a little time.
Yeah.
And then you will decide if it's a right or wrong. You don't always have to jump in that first train in order, to succeed. There are some, if you see the credibility of the company, that's something that's maybe not as risky, minimal risk, and you see the quality and you see the studies and everything that they're being provided and the transparency of it. Because a lot of companies aren't even transparent about their ingredients and their studies and or everything.
Yeah.
So it's very important to pay attention to. Sharing industry secrets or supplier hookups to gain popularity.
Or what? Supplier hookups
to gain popularity. Like, to gain the fame. I mean, isn't that what we're doing right now, kind of?
Oh, I mean, I guess that's not my intention, to gain popularity by being on here. But it's a joyful thing, like I mentioned.
But I'm saying, like, in general, people on the social media talking about, like, different tips and tricks and different, like, insiders from a company or brands that they're using. I don't think it's a red
There's
flag.
an ethical way to go about it. There's an absolute ethical way to go about it.
Yeah. You don't need to... Yeah. I think it's all case by case. I would say in general, it's a green flag to me, because if you sharing just insights about the company and the products and everything, you should be doing that. But... there is always a limit, pros and cons to it. All right, last one. Flirting with the brand representative to get special deals or products.
No. I mean, that I can only speak for myself, but there's no one I would have wanted to flirt with in the past. Or
is it green flag or red flag for you?
No.
I mean, I would say it's harmless, kind of. Have I done it? I have.
My red flag is up. I'm gonna say no.
I'll be biased here. I mean, again, all depending. I've never like the extent, but you can be friendly, a little flirty, especially when you're buying expensive devices.
Yeah.
So
I think that's okay.
Do you? It's your business.
I will let that be.
Again.
I will let that be your business. So. Actually, I want to hear. In the future, we can chat about it. In the future,
we'll talk about it. Nothing crazy. Trust me, know your limits. Nothing crazy, but a little friendliness,
Don't go crazy.
Don't go crazy.
Yeah.
Always know your limits.
Okay. I'm going to hold both sides up.
All right. Well, in general, this podcast was a green flag to me.
I'm going to give it a green.
I had such an amazing time with you. Thank you so much for joining me.
This was fun. Thank you.
It was a pleasure. And I hope you guys found this insightful, informative, and you were able to have a little laugh and giggles here with us. And don't forget to like and subscribe, the dingle a thing, and I'll see you later.